Now defining the nation's problems and searching for new solutions. Business correspondent Paul Salmon of WGBH Boston reports on an unusual economic approach to the nation's social ills.
Rainier, Oregon. 1,700 people on the Columbia River, which marks the state border with Washington. Wet, lovely, but like many American communities, as the millennium approaches, troubled. In fact, the county Rainier's in has just about Oregon's highest level of divorce, of alcohol and drug abuse.
We have drugs here, just like they have drugs everywhere else. We have kids with problems here, just like they have every place else.
School Superintendent Gene Carlson may actually be putting the best face on a bad situation. Just 2 weeks earlier, his high school was torched, presumably the work of local arsonists who've yet to be apprehended. The school now stands as a monument to Rainier's municipal malaise. Of course, like most towns, this one has seen bad times before, and like most towns, Rainier has tended to blame the bad times on its economic ups and downs.
We've been through boom and bust cycles several times, lumber, fishing, and then we sort of fell down, and then we went through a stage of nuclear power, which now we've lost through no fault of our own. And now we're sort of in a bust period and trying to work ourselves out of it.
But there's at least one person who thinks Rainier's decline was caused by more than the lumber business leaving town and no competition for the plant across the river, or by the idling of the nuclear power plant. A person who is drawing crowds across the country with his analysis of decline in Rainier and the rest of America.
Now, I want to introduce here just one bit of social science jargon, and I beg your forgiveness, but I think it'll turn out to be a term that we'll find useful.
Harvard political scientist Robert Putnam is the man with a diagnosis and perhaps a cure.
The term I want to introduce is social capital.
Social capital. Putnam has been telling community groups all across the country that this new economic theory is both the key to their practical problems and to the solutions. But first, the concept itself.
Physical capital is some physical object that makes you more productive than you would be if you didn't have it. A screwdriver. You save up your money, buy a screwdriver, you can repair more bicycles more efficiently. Human capital refers to an analogy between a screwdriver and a Harvard degree. If you invest in an education, you can be more productive than you would be if you didn't have that education. Financial capital refers to accumulated wealth on which enables us to make more money. Now, social capital refers to the norms and networks of our communities, the engagement of us and our neighbors, which enable us to be more productive. If you live in a community with a high level of trust and a high level of civic engagement, so you don't have to hire lawyers so much, you can be more productive than you would be living in a community that lacked social capital. If you ask me what's the story behind this,
it was just about a year ago at a talk like this one in Portland, Oregon, that the residents of Rainier became devout Putnamites. They decided to put